Alright, I'll show my face for once. So I got to tell you about this David E. Martin. He is one of the bravest people you'll ever come across. He knows about COVID. There's a video where he gives a speech at the European Union where he talks directly about COVID and how it was produced in about 1969. There was something to do. He talks, so it's on YouTube, David E. Martin. Type in European Union speech, maybe. I can't remember exactly what you put in there. I can't be bothered looking for it. You find it. One tick. Yeah, so anyway, find that. Then there's also on YouTube, there's a WEF, World Economic Forum video about COVID. They did a mock COVID expose, a mock COVID thing in about, because COVID was 2020, in about 2019, still on YouTube, where, they have a mock outbreak, right? And they get people on there who talk about, sort of the people are dissenting and what they should do about it. And this COVID came from pigs, and they actually called it COVID. And it's fucking on there. It's on YouTube. You go find that. You've got to find it. The Wayback Machine, anyway, will know that I know about that when it searches YouTube, when SACEM comes about. What else was I going to say? Yeah, and so World Economic Forum, evil. Schwab, evil. David E. Martin, a saint. There's nobody steps out and talk. And this was at the European Union. He did this speech. Only goes for like 20 minutes, so it's not heaps, but it teaches you a lot, and it shows you how we got fucked on. So wake up, we got fucked on, and that's the truth. And now I want to tell you about, so the World Economic Forum, COVID, whatever, deep state, Illuminati, the evil ones, because there are positive Illuminati, because Illuminati just means illuminated. But the general connotation for the Illuminati, the Cabal, the Black Hats, the nefarious ones, the reptilian overlords, whatever you want to call them, they are the ones, make no mistake, that creates the negative that happens in this world, no matter what it is. And they work for the negative, essentially. They've sold their souls to it. Like 100% sold their souls to it. We all have the negative in us, but we don't necessarily all sell our souls to it. So they are the ones that create all the bullshit. Now, I've got this theory where I've said to myself, why is it that, because we've got the technology out there, and the Catholic Church is very much, and the Jesuits are very much at the top of the chain of this. And I've thought to myself, why is it with the technology that we have that there's no system out there or program or infrastructure to be able to bust the real criminals, like the pedophiles and the murderers and rapists? Because I've thought of a system that is doable yet it's not been thought of, or it has been thought of, it's not been instigated. And I think, why is that? Do they really want to stop the negativity? And when I say they, I've already described to you who they are. And they are also people you meet, just negative people in general that are cunts. Whoops, I said cunt. Oh my God. So this might get restricted so the young ones can't listen to it. And so here's my way of how we can bust all the really bad dudes out there, right? We'll just start with, and it involves surveillance. But you see, the surveillance that they have now is intended, has been manifest, has come about for negative reasons. It's only for negative reasons, and that's of suppression and control, to know what we do to suppress and control us. I mean, fuck, they want to bring in a CBDC, a central banking digital currency. What happens if all the power turns off? How are you supposed to buy stuff? People will start killing each other in the streets for food, and they want to get rid of cash, people. And you're all going to sit by. I've gone off the track a bit, but you're all going to sit by and you're going to let it happen. Save your cash, keep it. It can be underground if they try and do it. We have an underground currency. That's what you got to do. Now, my way of catching the bad dudes properly is we can have satellites. You say you got 4 satellites for one hemisphere. So you've got 8 satellites circling the globe. And maybe they've got I don't know if they can sit still, but they should be able to, and the Earth just spins around, and obviously, and it films. Or they move at the same rate as the Earth. That would be better. They spin at the same rate sort of the Earth, so it appears as if they're standing still in relation to the Earth. So then what they do is they just take a picture of their quadrant, of their quarter of a hemisphere, so 1/8 of the Earth. Okay, and that's constantly filmed. Now what you can do is you can look at any time that you wish in that footage, and you can use a joystick even because the pixels are so great that you can use a joystick to zoom in and out of stuff that happened in the past, and it's all recorded and it's all there ready to be looked at if needed. So then what happens is, let's say there's a murderer, okay, and he leaves or she leaves a building where they committed the murder. We have a time of death because the body's been found, okay, and because of this they'll think of more ingenious ways to kill people, but we still need to instigate it, right? But we need all the other checks and balances around it, and this is what the New World Order, the fake New World Order has done. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. And so the time of murder's known. We see them walking out of the building. Their gait is even, their walk is even, because everybody's recorded, actually. But it's not used for nefarious gains. It's only used for positivity. And that's where we need to get the black hats out of power, in positions of power, because they will just continue to manipulate the situation to whatever they can. They even use good people, just in a conversation where a good person loses the argument when they're right. You know, stuff like this. And you add all that up and it changes everything. And so we've got the person's walk and we know who they are. Their name just pops up. It fucking pops up. And because when you're born, you get your DNA checked. You get it given. Everybody does. Not for nefarious gains, but for protection of people. And get what happens. Listen to this, what happens if my thing comes into play. So we've just now busted the person who killed that person. Now we're busting heaps of rapists because they can even use satellites to look in the windows and stuff. I've heard about that technology years ago. they can look on angles that it bounces off. Somehow it refracts and it can look in, it doesn't need one line of sight. And so we've busted rapists, we've busted murderers, we've busted serial killers, we've busted pedophiles, okay? And they all get put in jail. But guess what happens next because of this? And this is the kicker, everybody. This is the fucking kicker. Because all these people are getting busted, there's no point them getting born to begin with to then have the opportunity to be able to commit these crimes. Because if they do get born here, they'll just be towing the party line because they'll just get thrown into jail for their whole life. And we'll have, if you're a murderer or you're a rapist or you're a pedophile, you'll be chucked in there like Martin Bryant in Australia, Australia's number one killer of mass murderer, number one mass murderer, where supposedly they just put him under 24-hour light. So you'll get punishment like that. You won't get killed. You'll just have to live like that for the rest of your life. And so fuck you. And then we'll start, then all those people will be busted. And then we'll start busting like financial crimes and stuff like that. So deep state people and rich people out there be on notice, because your scams that made yourselves rich, right, won't fly eventually. And SACOM, my supercomputer, SACOM, the super artificial intelligent quantum machine, that's going to have a whole lot to do with the tracking of this information when that gets built, because this system is getting built right now. Believe you me, it's getting built right now. Just nobody knows that it's happening. So you've got to listen to my words, and nobody's watching my shit, but that's okay. But sorry if I look stressed or whatever. I don't mean to. It's just my demeanour, because I can't smile anymore. I can't even bring up a smile hardly. Fuck. And yeah, I've got no teeth, so there you go. So I think I'm going to go now. But I want to leave this at, should have gone at 12:21. So this, we're going to go at 13:12. So what else? Yeah, and so we can bust all these people, you know, and then they just won't reincarnate anymore, because there won't be any point. And if they do, they'll just be good, because they won't want to go to jail. It's fucking simple how to fix stuff. But the deep state and the Catholic Church, because they've let in the bad dudes, in actual fact, that's part of my story. They've let in the bad souls. They've fucking tricked it. They've tricked, trust me. Call me crazy, I couldn't give a fuck, because I've actually been literally crazy, and I know I ain't that at the moment, so that's all good. So I'm going at 13:12. See you later, alligator.